Welcome back to All the Mods. I'm Bumpstar, and last episode we made a huge upgrade to our world by setting up our QIO storage system, which means we finally have a place to store everything we've been generating. But now that that storage is handled, we actually need a better way to fill it. So in this episode, we're going to set up some early resource generation using mystical agriculture and trying to use Cobblemon to harvest it. If we can't get the Cobblemon to work because I've been having issues with it, we'll just use Botany Pots for now. At the same time, we also need to start preparing for the next gym battle, which means we're going to need to track down some amethyst so we can actually summon it. So the goal for today is simple: get some basic resources, get everything flowing into our storage system, and hopefully get ourselves ready for the next step in our Cobblemon journey. Let's get into it. So I have this whole area set up, and I had a pasture block running here, and it just hasn't been working. So I'm going to try and set it up in a bit smaller of a scale to see if I can get it to work. And if I can, great, we'll use that. But if not, Botany Pots will do the job as well. And to be honest, they're a bit easier. I cleared out this area over here, so that way we have kind of some room, something a bit bigger that we can use to work on all this. So we have plenty of clay. We're going to go ahead and smelt that down. Oh no, I need to stop that. That's not what I needed to do. We need to not use clay balls. We need to make it into regular clay and then smelt that down. At least we can use some of those bricks for some flower pots. So we put our pasture block down here, and we're going to try and do a little farm. Just kind of like this. And we're going to go ahead and use some of our mint seeds here. I think I have more from our zigzagoons, which I did upgrade this to a diamond barrel with some stack upgrades just to keep all of our Cobblemon stuff kind of separated. Oh, I do not have any mint seeds other than the 3 that I have down here, but that's fine. So we'll go ahead and break these out. We're going to use something else. Go ahead and do some Vivichoke seeds. And then let's go ahead and take our grass Pokemon out. And we'll go ahead and grab 2 of them. And I think Slowpoke will work for pickup. But you know what? Let's put Mime Jr. in. Just gotta heal him up because he keeps dying to the lava over here, and that's not helping out. So eventually I'm gonna remove these Torchics because they're just not really doing what we need them to do. Alright, so Mime Jr.'s out. We have our other guys out here kind of hanging out. They're chilling, right? So then we're gonna put a chest right here that allows them to put those items in there. And the issue that we run into is that well, this is going to take a while to grow, and we have to wait, and we're not doing any growth accelerators right now, so there's not really a way for us to speed this up. And that's where our other option comes in, which is just a hopper botany pot. We place that on top of the chest, and we go ahead and put a piece of dirt in there with our mint seed and an iron hoe, and I think we can turn this into a silent gear. Yeah. So you can put that in your crafting and turn it into a silent gear tool, which means it just doesn't break. So now we have these 2 different systems set up. We have a little small Vivichoke farm here that has 2 Hoppets and a Mime Jr. And then we have a Hopper Botany Pot with a chest with our mint. And as you can see, we already have a single mint from this, where we don't have anything from here. But I'm going to leave this running for a little bit by itself while we go find some amethyst, because I would like to I'd like to see which one of these is faster. Obviously having Cobblemon do it is a cooler system, but if Botany Pots are just better overall for an early game setup, then I think we're just going to go with Botany Pots. There's no reason to handicap ourselves by doing this if we're going to get a better yield from this. So in order to find amethyst, we are going to make the dowsing rod from Ars Nouveau. It's super easy to make. It's just a single gold ingot with 2 archwood planks. And this will allow us to see where the closest amethyst is. So let's come outside here and we hold right click on it. And we now have our magic find for a minute. Means we should be able to see if we have any amethyst near us. There should be some like glowing orbs underground. Oh, hey, perfect. Right below us here is going to be some amethyst. So we're going to do the one thing that you're not supposed to do in Minecraft, and we're going to dig straight down. but we have flying, so it should be okay. Hey, perfect. We got amethyst. So as it stands, we really just need one right now. So we're going to go ahead and just break all the regular amethyst clusters to pick those all up. And we know there's some budding here, so we'll open up our map and just mark it. That way we can come back here for this whenever we actually need it. Because right now we don't have silk touch or cardboard boxes or anything to pick them up, so we're not going to worry about it right this second. You know what? We're going to go ahead and make a precision sawmill so we can make ourselves some cardboard, because we are going to pick some of that up. We just place that down here and we can just throw some planks or logs in here. And by doing so, that should start getting us some sawdust. So we'll let that run. But now that we have amethyst, we can make the wide lens, which just requires 1 amethyst shard, 2 iron, and 2 copper. And this is what we need to summon the next gem. And while we're at it, we'll make the next step too, which is just a scope lens, which is 2 amethyst, 3 gold, and 2 iron. And we got our sawdust from the precision sawmill, so we'll make a cardboard box, and let's head back to the amethyst geo. Take that cardboard box, throw it on a budding amethyst, and now you can smack it to break it, and we now have a budding amethyst. Alright, so it's safe to say, just over that tiny bit of time, this is our Vivchoke. We haven't had a single one fully grow, our chest is empty, and our hoppets are nowhere to be found, to the point where they have actually disappeared. Our hopper botany pot, though, has been running the same amount of time that this has, actually a little less time, and we already have 8 mint leaves and a mint seed. I think setting up botany pots is going to be our best option. But while we contemplate how we're going to handle that, let's go ahead and fight the next gym with our focus lens. Hit the switch. Here we are. Hello, Commander Mars. I am ready to battle. We definitely don't have the best team right now, but we should be able to take this on without an issue. We're going to go ahead and switch from Cool Lava, and we're going to switch to Tinkatink. Ooh, even super effective fighting moves barely did anything. Let's go ahead and try and use some steel. Hey, that did a decent amount. Now, while we're at it, let's use Fairy Wind. Yeah, I think Metal Claw is going to be our best option here. We just have to slowly whittle it down. I think we can take one more hit. Oh, 1 health left. But we got Perugly down. Back to Zubat. Zubat is way faster than our Tinkatink, so we're going to go ahead and switch out. Let's switch to our Sandshrew. Does Rollout work on a flying type? It does. Commander Mars, you were no match for me. Defeating Commander Mars increased our level cap to a level 20, which means we can start using some of our experience candy that we have in here to really start leveling our Pokemon. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and take out 6 stacks of our extra small candy, and we're going to come over to our campfire here, fill these up, and let these start making some experience candy smalls. And we have so many of them that we're going to be able to get a decent amount of that. Alright, now that we have all of our Pokemon leveled to 20 almost instantly, let's take on the next guy, Commander Jupiter. Start out with some Metal Claw. Tinkatink being confused isn't going to do anything. Oh, and now it gets hurt with confusion. Snapped out of confusion and right back to Metal Claw. Oh. Alright, buddy. Can I live that? I can. Let's get this Rock Smash off to lower defenses. And I'm definitely slower, so this is just going to take me out, but that's fine. Go ahead and switch to our Quilava. See how Quilava does against this Pokemon, because, man, we're definitely faster. Does a good amount of damage, but they are going to hit us with poison gas. Antidated citrus berry, that's fine. Keep going with flame wheel, it's definitely our best move. Snarl, hold that thought. With a quick intermission, we have grabbed a potion. And we've grabbed some antidotes. Oh, that did a lot. Alright, let's flame wheel again. That should take this out. Oh, okay. There we go. Just took one potion. Back to Zubat. Use a flame wheel. See how that does. So close. This Zubat might take me out here though. Yeah, with that poison, that's going to take me. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and switch to Yamper. And hit you with a spark. And defeated. Yeah, that's right. I beat you. Let me know in the comments if you have figured out how to get the items out of the trainer spawner, because I just break it. That's really the only way I can figure out how to do it. By defeating the gym, we can now raise our Pokemon to level 22. So let's go ahead and do that. How's our campfire going? We've got 64 of our small experience candies now. And if we put 3 stacks of the small experience candies, we can start making the the medium experience candies. Alright, so after 3 gym battles, we have 26 Scion Mint Leaves, and still 0 Vivichoke. So I think that means we're gonna need to start using these Hopper Botany Pots, because this is just not quick enough for us, unfortunately. As much as I would love to use this because it looks so cool seeing the Pokemon farm everything for you, it is just way too slow. Maybe it will be better once we have some growth accelerators, but for now, this has to go. Alright, so I've got 7 Hopper Botany Pots set up over here, and we're going to use these for our apricot sprouts. And we're going to want these set up because we're going to need these to craft Pokeballs. This is all 7 colors. It's all sprouts that we've gotten from our Zigzagoons over there. And yeah, we're going to need to start farming these because we're going to need to automate Pokeballs soon. Since they removed it from the item pickup loot table, we're running pretty low. We've got 6 slate balls, 7 pink balls, and 11 blue balls. That's really not too many, and they're all basic Pokeballs, where realistically we could probably start crafting some Ultra Balls pretty soon. We just have to set that all up, and that's going to be an episode for itself because it is a lot to get going. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up some pipes for this. We're going to set them up underneath, make sure they're all set to pool, and then we're going to go ahead and connect that with the spruce barrel here. So everything that's spawned in there is going to start being pushed into this barrel. And we're going to take our QIO importer, place that right on that barrel, set it to our frequency, and set that to import without filter. Maybe. It might be too far away. Okay, good to know that there's a limit on that. So unfortunately, that's not what we're going to be doing. But at least for now, this will all start filling up with everything we need, so we can always come over here for this. It seems like I might need to start getting into Applied Logistics a little sooner than I wanted to, because as nice as QIO is, there's just some functionality that I do not get from QIO that I get from Applied Logistics. And yeah, I mean, if QIO had some form of a storage bus so I could connect other storage systems to it, I would definitely do it a lot longer. But not being able to connect something like functional storage to our QIO system is kind of bumming me out a little bit. I really wish we could. Alright, so I went up and did a mineral sapling, an acacia sapling, a spruce sapling, an oak sapling, some orange berries, and some wheat seeds. That way we can kind of start getting all of these automated. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's an easy setup, very early game. And we'll start getting us some of the resources that we need. But one of the things that I do want to make is a infusion altar through mystical agriculture. Just a piece of red wool, some stone, and 2 gold ingots. Then we're going to go ahead and make some infusion pedestals. And we're going to need 8 of those. Then we're going to go ahead and make some Inferium Essence, which is the first tier of mystical agriculture. we'll make one of those. And we're going to make a couple prosperity seed bases, which is just some prosperity shards that we've mined up with some weed seeds. So we're going to go ahead and set this up over here. And when you're setting up the mystical agriculture altar, put a block of redstone underneath of it first, because that will mean that once you have everything in here that you need to set up, it'll automatically run. You don't need to send it a redstone signal because it's always getting one. Once you put the altar down, you can start putting all the pedestals around. And now we have our setup. And with this, we can create a seed for pretty much every resource in the game. And that will allow us to just have every resource in the game, especially if we start putting it in Botany Pots now, and then utilizing it later with growth accelerators and a whole setup, and eventually getting to some simulated hydroponic beds. There's a ton of things that you can do to speed this up and make it extremely strong. I generally try and avoid using mystical agriculture, because it's a really good mod, but it kind of gets boring using it all the time. Because when you need a resource, you can just make a seed for it, pop it in the ground, or pop it wherever you're generating the resource from, and get an absolute ton of it. So we're going to use it to start because, well, I'd like to just get some basic resources going with this through Botany Pots, so I can just have a decent amount. But eventually we will be using a different resource generation of the bee variety to really speed it up, because I want to play with modular hives. I haven't played with that yet, and I'd like to see how that goes. But for now, we're going to go ahead and make a dirt seed. And to make that seed, you just put your prosperity seed base in the middle. Then you're going to want to put 4 dirt blocks. It doesn't matter where you put them on the pedestals, just have 4 of them out. And then take your Inferium essence and put it on the other 4 pedestals, and it will start crafting your seed. So now we have a dirt seed. I'm going to put a prosperity seed there, put our 4 Inferium essence, and then we're going to go ahead and put 4 logs down, and that's going to make our wood seed. And those are kind of the 2 seeds that we're going to start with, because for our other seeds, we need to get a little further into mystical agriculture, which means we're going to need a lot more Inferium. And to do that, we're going to set up a Botany Pot for Inferium. And we'll go ahead and place that right here. So now this Botany Pot should start getting us Inferium. Pretty slowly, but it'll start stacking up. Oh, and I didn't think about it. I need to make a Inferium farmland for our Inferium seed, because regular dirt isn't going to work. So this should start then. Yep, you can see it growing now inside of the pot. This should start giving us some results. And one thing you can do as well is come into the mystical agriculture quest page here, and as you can see, it is pretty large. But as you start unlocking things, collect these rewards, because you have a chance of getting seeds just from doing this. Like there, we just got a water seed, and now we just got a fire seed. And it looks like you don't even have to put a hoe inside of these. They didn't for these, and they're still generating the resources. So we just let these all run over time. And it does look like, unfortunately, our mineral sapling does not work with the Botany Pot. So that's fine, we can put something else in here. So for our next gym battle, we need a sunflower. And to do that, we're going to use our nature's compass and find a sunflower plant. It's about 1,200 blocks this way, so let's fly. And here's the sunflowers. We'll go ahead and grab a couple of these. Let's go ahead and place our sunflower in here. And let's spawn this gym leader. Gym leader Gardenia. You look like you might rock some grass Pokemon. Let's go ahead and put Quilava first. Where did you run off to? Ah, here you are. Yeah, this should be nice and easy. And there we go. Our second gym leader has been defeated. And unfortunately that doesn't give us any level increase, but our next step should. And for our next step, we need an Epistone. And there's kind of 2 main ways you can find this. You could take the route of going to dig sites where you get fossils and trying to find it that way. The chance of you finding it that way though are very slim. The easiest way to get your hands on it is going to be by fighting rock types. And those rock types have a chance to drop the Everstone. So I would suggest doing that. Find a mountain and go fight, or even kindly hit with your Paxel, and hopefully one of them drops an Everstone, because that's what I did, and it took me about 5 minutes. Now it's time to fight Pokemon Trainer Cedric, starting with a Starly. Oh, and changing right out to a Prinplup. Ooh. You know what? 2 can play that game. Come on, Yamper, do your thing. Ooh, that bubble beam is hurting. Alright, I've got you paralyzed. Let's see. Can I get the spark off? I can get the spark off. Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to Quilava. And of course you're switching. Ponyta. Should be one more hit with a quick attack. And there we go. Ponyta is down. Let's switch out here. And we'll go ahead and switch to our Sandshrew. One more rollout should do it. And there we go. Pokemon Trainer Cedric has been defeated. And that now means our Pokemon have a max level of 30. And with our campfire running, we now have a 64 medium experience candies, and we're going to make another 64. But let's go ahead and level all of our Pokemon to 30. Oh, we've got a couple evolutions ready to go. Tink-a-tink, it is time to evolve into Tinkaton. Nice. And Yamper, it's time to evolve into Bolton. I'll miss your little tail. Oh, man, you are tiny. And you know, I think it might be time to move some things around, because we caught a Frigibax. Frigibax. Yeah, the Dragon Ice Pokemon. We're gonna go ahead and replace our Sandshrew with that, as we don't need 2 ice, but that gives us a Ice Dragon, and that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at him. He's a special attacker, so we'll go ahead and use Dragon's Breath. We'll keep Bite and Ice Wind for now, and Focus Energy should work too. Let's get you up to level 30 though. But now that we have some Inferium Essence going, we're going to go ahead and make an Infusion Crystal here. And that's just some Prosperity, a Diamond, and Infernium Essence. And we are going to go ahead and upgrade that to Potentium Essence. And then we're going to go ahead and make the Tertium Essence, because we need 4 of it. And once again, make sure you're accepting your request, because we just got some Amethyst Seeds. And that's pretty nice. And you can kind of get a chain reaction going with using this. You might be able to just get some seeds that you normally wouldn't be able to unlock yet. But the main reason we're doing this is we need some copper seeds. And we want the copper seeds because we need that for Pokeball automation. At least some form to automate it to begin with. So let's put our essence around for those. Do 4 copper. And put our seed base in. And we'll just go ahead and pop that right in here. And we should start getting some copper seeds. You know, as you can see, we're already at 28 wood, 27 dirt. And that's just from battling a couple gym leaders. And yeah, just not a ton of time. So the Botany Pots will start, you know, working pretty well as we're doing other things. There are definitely better ways to get these resources early game, by doing things like mob farms and all of that. But for now, this is just what we're doing because we don't need a ton of them. We just need some base automation going, at least until we start jumping into some heavier mid-game things. But we kind of have our framework ready to go for automating some Pokeballs next episode, because I'd like to catch some more Pokemon. I'd like to change my team up a little bit. There's a few players on here that really aren't what I want, and in order to do that I need Pokeballs, and I just don't have enough to really get that going quite yet. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.